What's going on, Sooner Nation? The 2026 recruiting scene from Oklahoma is really starting to heat up, and you've seen Oklahoma land two recent commitments in Ja'Cory Smith and Nico Jandro, but now you have quarterback drama. Who's going to be the quarterback in the 26 class? There's actually been some new developments there, so we're going to talk about it today, including a guy that maybe could get an offer from Oklahoma, so we'll talk about that. Additionally, we're going to talk about an offensive lineman that just got an offer from Oklahoma. We're going to talk about a tight end that was just on campus from Oklahoma that maybe could be trending here. We'll talk about that. And then we'll also talk about maybe a commitment that could be coming down the line this week as well. So make sure you guys join the discussion. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on this 2026 class. Who do you think Oklahoma can land? What position do you want to see Oklahoma go out there and try to basically turn around in this recruiting class? But the Sooners are recruiting multiple quarterbacks at this point in the 26 class, and we knew that the OU wanted to take two quarterbacks in this class because you needed a guy for depth purposes. But they went after two top-ranked quarterbacks, a guy that they currently already had committed in their class, Jaden ONeal, and then Bo Bentley, who is now a top 100 quarterback according to the 247 composite rankings. And, I think everybody that's followed the situation knows how that's gone over, right? The ONeal camp is, looking at Florida State. You've had Auburn on the list. I believe there are a couple other schools that might get official visits. But Oklahoma might have to push all their chips in the basket for Jaden ONeal, mending that relationship, because as I've told you here on the podcast before, I thought LSU was in a pretty good spot to land Bo Bentley services. He could go to LSU. He would be the sole quarterback of this class. LSU didn't land Underwood last cycle, so they really need to get a quarterback in this class, and then they really need to get another one in 2027. And Bo Bentley, I felt like, fit the model of what LSU was looking for. And so while a lot of people brushed LSU off and just said this was going to be an Oklahoma win, I was a little bit more reserved. Now, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I think Oklahoma still has a pretty damn good shot to land Bo Bentley. And Bo Bentley's a really good quarterback. Nothing against Bo Bentley. But Jaden ONeal was committed first. Ben Arbuckle changed directions and really didn't even give him a heads up. So the question is, if Bo Bentley commits to LSU, will Jaden ONeal stick around? Well, here's the good news. Jaden ONeal currently has an official visit set with Florida State on June 15th. Bo Bentley moved his official visit up with Oklahoma to June 6th, going to LSU on May 30th because, Georgia decided to take Jared Curtis, so they fell out of Bo Bentley's races. Now, for Oklahoma, this means you're going to find out whether or not you need to push all your chips in the basket to keep Jaden ONeal currently committed in your class before Jaden ONeal takes that Florida State official visit. Now, I will say this. Mike Norvell and the staff down at Florida State, they love Jaden. They want Jaden in this class. So, for Oklahoma, because you decided to recruit over Jaden ONeal, have created more competition on the side that maybe you didn't need to originally have. So for Oklahoma, the quarterback drama, which one are they going to land in the 2026 cycle, is definitely becoming a little intriguing. We'll have more on that later this week, so make sure you guys stay tuned in there. But as I talked about at the beginning, Oklahoma wants to take two quarterbacks in this cycle, regardless whether that's Bo Bentley and Jaden ONeal or one of those two quarterbacks and somebody else, because you need somebody in there that can be on the scout team, potentially be a backup down the road. You need just some competition in that room. And so Oklahoma invited a quarterback to their camp on June 5th, Jackson Fields. Now, I don't know if he's related to Justin Fields. I actually had a chance to catch up with Jackson Fields and didn't even ask him that question. But he's a 2-year starter, has a 19-3 record, 250 out of 377 completions, 4,190 yards, 52 touchdowns. He's a first-team all-district offensive MVP. He has 2 first-team all-district quarterback awards. So Jackson Fields is a guy that's kind of gone under the radar, a guy that throws a pretty accurate ball, like pretty nice quarterback in all honesty. Not sure why this guy doesn't have more offers, hasn't been looked at by more schools. After Oklahoma invited him to camp, Ohio State invited him to camp as well. So interesting thing there to see other schools jumping in on him right after Oklahoma does. I would imagine schools like Florida State, Auburn, even probably LSU will try to get in the mix. So Jacksonville's recruitment could heat up pretty quickly if Oklahoma doesn't want to try to pull the trigger on him, but would be a great second quarterback to any one of these other two guys. And he's even told me he's willing to come in. He's willing to compete right away. He just wants an opportunity. Now, Oklahoma did throw out an offensive line offer to Devin Robinson out of Pasadena, Texas, out of Pasadena Memorial High School. 6'3", 330 pounds, 15 total offers. Got a chance to catch up with him, asked him about, hey, like what schools are pushing for you the hardest outside of maybe Oklahoma, who just offered you. You had TCU, you had Baylor, and it was Houston. Those are the three schools that are really pressing for his services. And being a kid from Texas, you imagine why. Now, he's a big boy, he's a big body. You imagine why Bill Beanbo likes him. He's actually been to campus last year for one of the camps, but he'll be back on the Champion Barbecue weekend for an official visit, June 20th or 22nd. So Oklahoma fans, we're going to get, I think it'll be the last stab at Devin Robinson. So keep your eyes peeled there. This is one that Oklahoma could potentially land, and it would honestly probably be a really underrated, great grab for Oklahoma. But the Oklahoma Sooners had a 4-star tight end on campus this weekend in Tyler Ruxer. And according to On3, they think Oklahoma is emerging as a potential threat to land Tyler Ruxer's abilities. And we talked about that Champion Barbecue weekend. We talked about it a lot. He went to Northwestern on May 9th, Duke on May 30th. He's going to Purdue on June 6th, Minnesota on June 13th. The Champion Barbecue weekend's still open. So maybe Joe John Finley and Jim Nagy can do some work together, get Tyler Ruxer to come up for that Champion Barbecue weekend, currently ranked as the 478th player in the 247 composite rankings, 6'4", 220 pounds, out of Lincoln City, Indiana. So this is one of the positions that you as OU fans, along with myself, have been asking to get more depth there. Go land some prospects. This would give them 2 tight end commits if they land Tyler Ruxer. So Oklahoma could be doing work at the tight end show. We'll have to kind of see what's going to happen on that recruitment. Additionally, Brian Harris, the 4-star defensive lineman out of Florida, currently has his commitment date. I think it's for May 23rd, this week. He'll be deciding whether or not he's going to come play at Oklahoma. Penn State has been the bigger threat there. Feels like Penn State's kind of been out of it. I told you guys last week, I really like Oklahoma to land Brian Harris. So you could end this week with at least one commit. I know of at least one more that is currently in the boat with Oklahoma. So you never know. Oklahoma could have 2 drop this week, and they would have a really nice weekend. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe button.